this computer. Well, thank you, Miss whoever you are. Okay, this morning is a great morning for a power up. We got to do it. Norma's not here. Norma's supposed to join online.
Ready?
Oh, that is so not me. But what the heck? Gotta get used to it. So what we have here is the first page of the power up. Let's see.
Take it on the front.
I'm just learning how to do this.
It's our first rodeo.
So it's a good thing there's only 2 of us on, 3, 4 of us here. So here's the next slide. Monique, can you see the full slide?
Yeah.
Okay. Have your video on, which you do. Be prepared to share your gratitude and participate all in. Bring your energy and enthusiasm. Let's go. Okay, now I'm doing some adjustments here on our screen. There we go. And so the next slide is the wins. What are the wins for the week? Core values you'd like to shout out of grit, results, only leaders, wealth, teamwork, or humility. Anybody got any wins to celebrate?
Just promoting myself to about 6 or 7 people, letting them know I'm back in the biz.
Oh, there you go.
Supposed to be a Wednesday conversation.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
all good.
Okay.
I just did a friend request for the winery, so
Oh,
you may get that.
good for you. I'm not even that friend.
And it just popped up on my feed saying, "Hey, you want to be a friend with this person or with this group?"
Any wins, Mo?
I would say Rashad, or Syed, sorry. He has like 2 names. But there's another offer out on that house that he really liked. So I told listing agent we should have our pre-approval by today. And Braden thinks we might need to sell the mom's house. So either way, I don't know, Syed knows we might not be able to get this house with the time window, but at least there's a sense of urgency now. And, he's like, whatever happens, happens.
And that one you got off your open house, correct?
On Wildwood.
Okay.
Awesome.
It looks like someone else is on the.
Jennifer.
Oh, hi, Jennifer. I don't see your. I wonder what I'm doing wrong.
Oh, there we go.
There he is. There she is.
You see me?
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey,
Hi, good morning.
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 You can see I'm in the peanut gallery over on the other side of the table.
Yeah. I had to have the camera face me for some reason. I thought that people should see me while I'm talking, so I shouldn't be there. Do you have any wins, Jennifer?
I actually found a couple listings that were in my price range for my clients, but they're still waiting for like the down payment programs. So.
Yeah. Hi, Kelly.
Hello. Thank you.
My win is I got this together. I mean, I hope to make it better someday so that it's a little better appearance. But for right now, we've got it together. I'm going to post this on the Facebook page. I can't live stream it to the Keller Williams because you got to be an administrator on the page. So, but I can post it. So don't say anything bad about Raleigh or Leslie or anything. So, okay, let's go on to the next slide. I try to get done with these in a half an hour. So just so you know that. This is a share to weight, involve others in overcoming challenges. And that's really important to be able to do. And so I'm going to go on to the next slide. Oh, wait. We're covering the lessons inspired by the book, The Hard Thing About the Hard Things by Ben Horowitz. The first lesson is share the weight, involve others in overcoming challenges. You don't have to do it alone, yet sometimes it's easier said than done. We'll explore some of the ways to put get others in the loop, to help us out. Hello, Michael Molivas. Business leaders are like F1 drivers. They get a lot of the credit and the blame, but it takes a whole team behind the scenes to win a race. That's Sir Richard Branson. So I don't know if everybody knows what F1 drivers are, so I'll put it in my own words. We have a friend that does that helps with putting up the stages and the decorations and everything for large concerts. And it takes a day of just busting rear, 12 hours or so of getting the stages and all the outfitting and rigging and everything together. If the band had to do that, they wouldn't play very many concerts, and they wouldn't have the kind of energy they need to put on a good concert. So what the band has done from probably when they started, they were doing all their own stage and everything. But when they moved on and they got bigger, someone else has taken on that 80% and they do their 20%. Okay, so the 12 hours, 14 hours before the concert, that's all getting put together. The band does their rehearsal, their walkthrough, and then they do their concert. And then another 12 to 14 hours to tear it all down is done by someone else. The band's concert lasts maybe 2 to 3 hours, and they do what they're best at. And the put up and tear down guys do what they're best at. So what we want to do is we want to find out what we're best at and what we enjoy doing and what gets us the best results. Okay. And one of the ways to do that is to go through your day and write down everything you do during the day. And then after you do that, you identify the things that gave you the best results, that got you the business, maybe phone calls or things like that. Monique does a lot of open houses and gets a lot of good business from that and does a lot of follow-up. But our CRM does some of the follow-up for her too. As soon as they sign in on an open house, they're getting emails from her, and then she's getting prompts to call. If she had to remember all that stuff on her own, instead of having that background work being done by another system, it'd be hard to keep up with that. You lose people. One of the reasons Norma and I formed a team is because we were losing people. We would just not have the ability to help them. Well, now the market's slowed down, we got time, but we'd rather he's going to pick up, so we'd rather have the team together and have people that we can hand these people off to, and our systems and everything in the computer systems can keep touching them and keep in contact with them, and maintain that business, keep it so we're serving people. Does that make sense to everybody?
Mm-hmm.
But you focus on your 20% and leverage out the rest of the 80%. It's the
Yeah, find somebody else who can do that 80%. Hopefully for as cheaply as possible. A lot of people tell you when you get into business, do this and your world will be great. My thing is, sometimes you can't leverage it out. You're not making enough money to do that, and you're really not doing enough deals to do that. So be like the band. You set up your own stage and everything, or you walk onto a stage that's already existing in a small club or something like that, until you're to that point where your 20% needs to be your 20% and let somebody else do that 80%. You got to just identify that 80%. For a band, it's easy. You don't want to put up and tear down a stage, but for us, it's really hard to identify. One of the first things I did was get a TC, and I've rarely lived without a TC, because they do a ton of work that I'm not very good at, and they get the job done. I cannot see the comments, by the way. So if anyone has any questions or comments, just break in. Just say, hey, Brian, wait, and we'll deal with it then, okay? So the 80-20 rule, guys, see, I need to follow these slides. Okay. Oh,
That's right, just reinforcement.
that's all right. Yeah, we're there. Okay. Every task is needed, so you don't just take the task and say, okay, I'm not going to do that one, and also express your gratitude to everyone who is on your team and everyone who does those tasks. We gotta give a big thank you to Pam, who's our transaction coordinator, for all the things that she does, and for anybody else that works on the team, like Lacey. She kicks rear on getting these things into MLS and getting all the inspections taken care of, all the photos taken care of, everything that needs to be done behind the scenes. Lacey's doing, and every once in a while we'll thank her. We'll remember to say, "Hey, man, you're so man."
I know that you gotta think.
You don't just do stuff for money. You do it to know that you're important in the team.
Mhm.
So it's not all about the money every time. Okay, let's talk about it. Do you ever feel like you're carrying all the weight? How can you involve others in the process? Who is one person you can show gratitude to this week? Now, I didn't share a win for Scott because I forgot to, but Scott put in an offer on a duplex yesterday, and he's new enough. He didn't understand that there's a income property form. It's not a residential purchase agreement. It's an income. I forget the name of it now, but we'll stand by, because we can all learn from.
Yeah.
It is a residential income purchase agreement and joint escrow instructions, and the steps that have to be followed during a residential income purchase. So he leaned on us to find out that information. I took a picture of the form and sent it to him, and he filled it out, put in the offer, and I hope he gets it accepted. Okay, part 2 of this is play chess, not checkers. Understand that success is not always linear. I'm not following my notes. So I'm flipping through my notes here. Here we go. We're covering lessons. Okay. You sometimes have to take steps back to take more steps forward. Let's dive into how to keep growth going in all circumstances. Is it working? Activities lead to results, but there is often a gap in between. How do we know that our efforts are working? Well, we use a CRM called Brevity, and that keeps track of a lot of the if you make the calls in Brevity, or you put the information in Brevity, we know what activities we're doing and how that turns into business. In Command, it's the same thing. This is not, I'm not going to show you how to do things in Command or Brevity or anything like that. This is, a half-hour deal. But if you need help in Command on how to track and how to have Command report on your progress, Arthur would be the one to go to on that one. Arthur Martinez. So he would be your guy. Let me just read off of this. One of the biggest challenges in growing business is connecting activities to results. There might feel like 1,000 steps that occur between when an agent first meets a client and when they sit down together at a closing table. If there feels like a big gap between an activity like prospecting and the final result, it can be hard to track where bottlenecks are. How do we know that our efforts are actually moving things forward? Does anybody feel that gap? They feel like they're doing a bunch of stuff and not getting any business from it or anything from it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jennifer, yeah. Monique has worked for a few months, and then all of a sudden everything just started coming up. open houses we're getting good for. She's about to close on a person we've had in our database for
Like in years.
3 years, 2 years, something like that. They were off of Facebook ads from back when we worked in command. And it migrated over into Brevity, and it was just sitting there, and nothing was being done with them because Norma and I didn't have the time to deal with it. But Monique took it and ran with it, and 20-acre piece of property. So the lady can raise her donkeys on a bigger chunk of property right next door to her.
I feel like Monique was starting to kind of fill that gap too, where it was like, okay, like you're waiting with these activities and you're like, hey, now it should start like rolling in and things should starting to produce and come up. And it was kind of like still that lull of like, what's going on? And you just continue to power through. And then everything like at that point where you could have given up and like, oh, I'm just gonna let my schedule go, or don't make my calls, or stop doing these open houses, you like push through that ceiling and then good things came.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, and it was like a crucial point because like Norma and I sat down and had a chat because we were like, I'm working hard, I'm doing the activities, like what's the missing link? And then it was like a matter of money. I'm like, okay, well, it's been months. I'm spending all this time doing this stuff. I need the money to supplement, all these activities. But yeah, just the timing. I think it's a little bit of luck, a little bit of the market starting to shift, and just being consistent,
Yeah. We were working with a bad time in a market where everybody just froze up,
Mhm.
It's like you jumped in cold water and you just want I know I gotta swim, but I'm freezing to death.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. We're moving on. Okay, play chess, not checkers. Checkers is a simple game. You move forward and possibly jump a piece here or there. In chess, you have to be more strategic. How will your next move impact the game in 3 moves, 5 moves, 10 moves? Chess and checkers both have clear ways to win, but only one of them requires you to think 3 moves ahead. What does play chess, not checkers mean to any of y'all? Plan out your moves. Yep.
Yeah, like strategy.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, in chess, pieces move in different ways, not just like you said, linear. They move in different positions depending on whatever piece you are, working with. But yeah, definitely strategy.
And there's different moves, but you have to figure out the best move.
Right.
Oh,
in chess.
Different moves, but you got to figure out the best move. Yeah.
like if we can get
Teach my granddaughter that.
Learn from the Grandmasters. Remember to love the game, love what you're doing. How you start predicts how you'll end. The same is true in any initiative you start. Start well, end well, and think multiple moves ahead. What will be the results of your next business move, and what doors could it open? Don't accidentally close a door through lack of foresight. And then you can only learn if you play. Like chess, you can only learn so much about real estate from the sidelines. Get in the game. Michael, you're always smiling.
Frozen, Michael?
He likes what you're saying.
Oh, yeah.
My voice, my voice hasn't started yet.
Too early. Set milestones, track your activities, your appointments, your closings, your follow-ups, and what can you learn? What can you learn from tracking those things? Have you ever experienced a real estate roller coaster? That's where you find leads and then you focus all your effort on converting and closing them. If you're still looking for leads, you're going to have a gap when you need more clients. How can you think several moves ahead and avoid the real estate roller coaster? We do that by being a part of the team and having the TC, so they do deal with all that stuff. You're still able to go out there and do your stuff. And I think I was telling Jennifer that when we were talking about getting on the team, it's like you can still go out and say hi and be happy with people and everything and get their business, and the team helps you take care of that business. So you don't have that. You know, there is some intensity to it where you're going to have to focus on this, but a lot of times you drown in a transaction if you don't have people backing you up, if you don't have people helping you out in that transaction. So it's good to have the people, and your team is not only our team, but it's also your title and escrow team, your inspectors, everybody that's involved in the transaction. It's a team you put together to close that transaction, and you got to deal with all kinds of different personalities and everything during that too. So but the important thing about it is, and your transaction coordinator, is to realize that you are a part of a team that is helping a willing buyer and a willing seller get what they want. One wants to sell their house, the other one wants to buy the house. And so you try to make that as smooth as you possibly can. And you do it through these other team members, the title and escrow person, the inspectors, the transaction coordinators, and all those.
The other agent.
The other agent, and show your appreciation. If that agent did a great job, send them a thank you, maybe a little gift card. If you feel like spending money on a gift card. Oh, closing follow-up. Okay. Success is a lousy teacher and makes smart people think they can't lose. It also makes them think they don't need to learn. That's John Maxwell. Yeah. Does your success ever feel non-linear?
Meaning unsuccessful?
Yeah, like it's not
enough.
taking it. It's going off track.
Well, my favorite quote is there's no success without failure. So if there was no failure, then I mean it's it's mandatory to be non-linear in that sense.
Well, I tell you, oh, go ahead. Oh,
Well, you learn from things too.
yeah. So success is non-linear, really. I mean, but you can straighten it out. You can make you can take the training wheels off the bike, but you've got to go and ride it until you can take them off the bike, and then do it. You'd like to work toward it being a straight path. But I tell you what, man, real estate changes every year, every few months, there's different things. Just keep an eye out for what's going on and listen to it. And then change the way you do business. I had a lender one time at a time when it was not possible to get credits for a buyer, get $3,000 credit. He'd say, well, I sit in on the lender consultation. He'd say, well, this is where you have the Halsteads come in and say you need $3,000 seller credit toward it. I'm like, dude, don't say that anymore, because the Halsteads we ain't miracle workers. Nobody's giving $3,000 credits. So please, we're ending up having to go over and sell off one of the kids or something like that. You promise them to wash their car every weekend or whatever. But anyway, so it changes quite a bit. I always tell people, if you ever feel like you're really, really good at real estate, you're sucking at it, because you should always think that there's something more you should know. How can you predict your success? Well, by tracking your activities and what your activities lead to, and what is something that you should be doing more of for your own success. That's an interesting question. Anybody?
Calls.
Calls. That's why we have the $1,000 dial day, is when you do 1,000 dials in one day, Monique, right? It makes it pretty easy to freaking pick up that phone and do 50 to 100 dials in a day.
And we have prospect
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, we
It's
got,
like it's kind of like when you train for a marathon, like, you know, you do few miles a day and then you get, or a half marathon, you get 13 miles in a race. You're like, wow, can't believe I did all that. And it led to this.
yeah. I won't be running any marathons anytime soon, but
Speaking
yeah, I
of
know what you're talking
marathons,
about.
So speaking of monster shoes are.
Oh, your shoes are in, your place shoes, Monique, are on your desk. I think we opened them already. We hadn't seen them. We hadn't got ours yet. So you and Mackenzie got your shoes. And sorry, Jennifer, they were ordered before you came on the team.
Okay, no worries.
If you were size 15 men's, you could have. Oh, Normita, hey, you're there.
Oh, bad phone.
Go ahead and move this stuff out.
Okay, well, you don't need to talk. You're very sketchy. Scratchy. Okay. Here's a script. Hi, my name is, hi, this is Brian with Halstead Real Estate Team. We talked a while back and you said you were planning on to buy, sell in a month or 3 months. I know things, lives change quickly. Does that time frame still work for you? Awesome. One of the things I do is meet with my buyers, pre-planning for any kind of move. So that sounds perfect. And that makes now the perfect time for us to meet to work on your steps and strategy. What evening weeks this week works for you to meet? You're gonna get a yes or no, or see you later.
Can you go back to that slide, Brian? I want to screenshot. Okay.
Got it?
Mhm.
What are you grateful for? Start each day with positive thought and grateful heart. Build something beautiful today, and that is the end of the presentation.
So I'm gonna be able to do it the same way for that room. So when he's done with the pictures, he's gonna do it's called the Matterport, the 3D.
You
We can do
gotta
the virtual
mute Norma.
tours and walkthrough. So that's another one. I mean, this house, thankfully, the layout is it's large enough to where we can be on totally one side and they not see anything because it's a little harder to hide when they're doing that, you know.
Okay,
Like
well,
right
it
now
is
for pictures,
2
you
minutes
can
prior.
somewhere if we had to. But-
So we can do the
1:30.
virtual thing too.
Hey,
And
Norma.
then-
You guys outside?
Like,
I love it. I love it. We're learning from the best.
And then,
Are there any challenges anybody's dealing with that that you need to what is it?
like a
Brainstorm on?
of photos. And if we don't have to do anything extra for it, I think it's great. He's like, it looks so nice. He goes, I think it'd be a great addition to give it a try.
Yeah.
I'm
She
glad
just realized the slide was
Yeah. So you just meeting with command.
Yeah.
Said something about that. If we went from command. Filter in the
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
we're working on.
I think this one's on. The bull, one outside.
Sure that.
Yeah,
Right.
the thing is, Brevity or Command is very, very good.
Oh.
They're almost free. Brevity costs us
Yeah.
$1,500
Okay,
a month,
yeah,
okay?
yeah.
So,
Yeah. Gotcha.
I would
But
not,
it sounded like something, if it wasn't
Do you want me to text her?
taken care of through command, then it.
No, I
I've-
called.
I've been.
She would have answered.
Any, so, and I'm trying to get this vocab, so in the pond, let's see, you pick up something in command, I guess, or
There she is.
doesn't materialize, go into Brevity, or?
no, you could, no, we just use Brevity
okay.
exclusively. We use
Yeah,
Command just for compliance.
Right.
But,
okay. But they're not tied, they're obviously not tied together. because I-
No,
Okay,
no.
you're just comparing the two.
Just comparing the two.
Gotcha, yeah.
Kelly, do you have any issues you're trying to work through and we can help you on? Oop, I think you're frozen.
My
Mo,
issue is I'm just like even, hello?
oh, go ahead.
Oh.
You were
No,
frozen.
it's like even with like open houses and Facebook ads, I get so much bogus contact information.
Yeah, that is an issue. Command has, and I don't know how to work it because we work in Brivity. I'm sorry, I probably should study it more if I'm gonna do these things. But Command has a QR code you can do where it sends the information straight into your database. Brivity has that too, and it's set up so that you get the information as soon as they put it in off of the QR code. Now, when they give you BS information, it pretty much in Brivity, it shows it. I don't know if Command it does, but it already runs the information for you to see if their email's a good email or anything like that. But I've had people do the QR code, sign in, it hits me like 3 seconds later. And then I know their name. I have it sitting right here in front of me. And if it's Mickey Mouse, I'm gonna look for big ears. And if they don't have big ears, they're gonna get a hey, you know, I noticed you signed in as Mickey Mouse, and the owner seriously wants to know who's walking through their house, you know, and you would want the same thing, you know, throw it back into that reality thing. You know, we're not just playing around. You know, you're walking into a $500,000 house. The owner's gonna want your information. And if you can't give it, go ahead and leave, you know, and they'll if they leave pissed off, that's fine. But you know, you try to be a little bit kinder on open houses, but if they're gonna play games,
Don't need them.
they're not someone you want to deal with. You know, come on, Mr. Mouse. If I find a house that's similar to this one and a lower price or available, or I'm about to come put it on the market, wouldn't you like a phone call?
Yeah.
And how am I going to get a hold of you and call you a Mr. Mouse if I'm calling 555, you know, whatever, you know?
Disney.
So yeah, you know, so you kind of get your scripts down so or your mindset down so that you're that way. You know what I mean, Kelly? Is
Yeah.
I'm going to get the right information, you know, but how am I going to get it? That's you personally. You're going to have to deal with that in your mind to how you're more comfortable talking to people, you know.
But even like Command, you get a lot of bogus, and you can't, you know, the numbers disconnected. You don't even know if they don't respond to the emails, so you don't even know if it's a real email or not through Command.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even tell you that. So you do get a lot of that. I've seen a lot of that too.
You know, that's cool though. Like for Facebook ads and stuff like that, even though it auto fills it, they can change it. You know, and so just trash them. You know, okay.
I noticed on the Facebook.
We do that if we've tried to contact 3 times. Now, a lot of times it takes 11 times to try to contact someone to get them. But after you've tried and tried, you just trash them.
Right. So I mean, from day one, you know.
Oh, yeah.
They should be in like the settings of the Facebook ads that they have to enter a valid phone number. Because I've seen some come through like 000 or 11111, you know, so like you see them come through and then you're like, oh, I can't even call because it's not that's not a number.
Right.
You know, so I mean you're paying for these
By Malevis.
for the lead capture.
But is that the entrance of the person, or is it just something that's out
That's
of the
them
blue?
like that's
Or
them
some
finding
kind
out.
of a a spam thing, you know
Well,
what I mean?
they want to see the listing, but they don't want to give you their information, so they're going to give you bogus information.
Oh, then who even wants to mess with that?
Yeah, but when you're paying for the
Do you feel
Facebook,
like we help you out, Kelly?
Right, oh, gosh. I don't know, I've had some interesting.
What was that?
Do you feel like we helped you out?
Yes, thank you.
You got your answer, kind of an answer, right?
I did.
Okay.
I got to figure out the QR code thing.
Okay. I will try to check out command and make a little video for you and send it to you. I'll send
Thank you.
I'll send it to your KW email.
Okay, thank you.
Sound good? Okay. All right, we're gonna shut her down. Could everybody hear me good enough?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I'll see on the video.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you very much for showing up. I appreciate it.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, Brian.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day.